All right, so let's go to another market. Now it's the crypto market that never sleeps nor slumber.
Well, the traders sleep, though.
Oh, okay.
The market.
All right. I thought they don't.
And obviously, at this time now, we're still looking for who's going to gain control in this market. Is it the bears
undecided
or the bulls? Still quite undecided.
Yeah, we had greed for a long time, so we expect the market to correct itself. So I guess that's just the process.
Exactly. So that's why we have neutral, 52 points, trying to gain direction at this time. Still that battle between the bulls and the bears in this market. Let's look at the top cryptocurrencies we track in this market. Now we see Bitcoin there losing that 27,800 level, not able to break that resistance point, but it's up 0.38% this morning. Ethereum, that's below that 2,000 level, $1,844, looking more stable than Bitcoin at this time. Is up marginally, 0.05. BNB, Binance coin there, $313, down 0.046%. We see Cardano also on the losers counter there, 0.07%, 36 cents is what it's trading at. XRP trying to ink up some gains there, 0.98% up, almost 1%, still below that 50-cent level. So we see most of the altcoins there bleeding once there's volatility with Bitcoin, and we've seen that happen right now. Let's bring in Olumide Adesina now, financial market analyst. Hello, Olumide, great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Ladi. Good morning.
Good morning. So we see that battle in the market at this time. Bitcoin unable to break that resistance, 27,800. But we have that big US CPI data for April coming out later on today. What do you see happening if that data is hotter than expected?
Well, if you see the data hotter, it means the US Fed will keep on raising rates. You know, we're already seeing the Fed fund rate at over 5%, telling you very much that investors are pretty much interested in US saving assets, and we're seeing dampen liquidity. But, you know, coming to the crypto markets, you rightly pointed on price action, but I think it's deeper than that. You know, Bitcoin conjunction, you see that had also played a big role. Binance had to, at certain occasion, postpone Bitcoin withdrawals, and that's somehow created some anxiety in the market. And we know with meme coins like Pepe dropping from their record 15% high, pretty much tells you the risk of investing in such assets. But, you know, coming back to Bitcoin, I think interesting signs are that we're seeing the capability and the usability of the blockchain. You know, a lot of people have often said that apart from the decentralized feature of Bitcoin and the blockchain ledger, there was nothing really to talk about. But now we've seen tokens, BRC20 tokens. These are tokens built on the blockchain, particularly Bitcoin, where you could attach NFTs to Satoshi, and interestingly now it's taking up about 50% of the blockchain transactions. So it's really why we're seeing so much upsurge in activity and the excitement. But, you know, just like you rightly said, investors are really looking at those numbers coming out later today. Any upside in that number definitely is bad news for the crypto market. A downside definitely might see Bitcoin claiming the 28,000 support and looking to break the resistance in the next time and the $30,000 resistance in the next time.
And talking about that 30K resistance, what kind of catalyst do you think is enough to break that level in the short term?
Yeah, so I think for me, if you look at the market right now, there are three things that you need to look. First of all, the crypto market is fighting heavy regulation from the United States to the European, and recently you could see even the IMF was warning Zimbabwe about being very cautious about the digital asset backed by gold. So that really, if those sentiments are really moderated, that could really help the crypto market. Secondly, liquidity. You know, if you look at the last 2-3 years, institutional investors played a big role in the market, and liquidity right now is not like what we are seeing. So despite the fact we're seeing Bitcoin really staying 70% up this year, you can't really see that for many altcoins except for Ethereum. So it really tells you that the liquidity also really matters. Then thirdly, you know, scams and the fact that we have seen some faulty crypto assets. You know, I mentioned recently Pepe, you know, definitely it brought in some excitement and early investors made a lot of money. but he has questioned the integrity of the market because we've seen a lot of dump and dump scheme in playing in the space, and that somehow really moderated some excitement, especially among people that have lost a fortune in the market. So those are three things I see that are playing in the market right now.
And talking about the meme coins and the market looking quite unserious at this time, it seems we should just come, to terms with it that we will always have meme coins in most of these markets. Even some traditional markets, we have meme coins there, and they do bring a lot of gains.
Yeah, exactly. The rise of meme assets, particularly from equities to crypto market, has been proud of the fact that we've seen the power of retail investors and information and strong community. Then the most powerful man in arguably on Twitter, Elon Musk, definitely had also given credence to meme assets, and we saw how Dogecoin really went from nothing to one of the most valuable crypto assets in the space. So despite the fact that they have little or no USDT case, but the fact that they have a strong community and high perspective from different young people, you can't run it around. But it comes with big risk, like you rightly said, you could see the span of 2 weeks where Pepe rose thousands of percent and it broke from its record high to moderate to its all-time low as we speak. It's down. So it tells you the risks that come in this space. But people, particularly young investors, they seem unbothered and enjoying the bad work of why it lasts.
And talking about most of these meme coins, now we see the Bitcoin network is congested at this time, and people are having to pay a lot, for fees. And it looks like the miners are the ones enjoying this feast at this point.
Yeah, but like I mentioned, if you look at the scalability of Bitcoin and the fact that this network is barely less than 2 decades, you should understand that the scalability will have some issues. But I think, nevertheless, we just like rightly said, we've seen altcoins like XRP and other meme coins also taking advantage of those opportunities. But I think I'm more interested in layer 1 blockchain, those that have strong utility. Like I mentioned XRP, for example, you could see that in Saudi Arabia, for example, certain banks are already on the ledger rivaling Swift network. So I'm much more interested in tokens that have stronger layer blockchain functionality than those meme coins that can really drop in value, despite the fact that they are very cheap.
And looking at this congestion with Bitcoin's network, we've seen that happen with Ethereum. Back in the days, I think around 2017, with the smart contracts, the network got congested. Transfer fees were really high. So with Bitcoin now and with the BRC20 narrative, do you see some kind of opportunity here for maybe layer 1 scaling solutions for Bitcoin?
Definitely, but I think blockchain developers also are not sleeping. They created amazing projects like the Lightning Network, which speeds transaction at lightning speed. We spoke about in the past about how slow blockchain transactions when you compare with on the Ethereum. So we've seen certain protocols also building smart contracts, like Stash. So I think the blockchain is definitely evolving. We're going to see smart developers taking advantage. But just like rightly said, I think when it comes to transaction, the king of all kings is Ethereum. Most transactions on digital space takes place on Ethereum, and we've seen banks like JP Morgan, Santander adopting those things in the bond market, and that's why we are so excited that back home Nigeria has finally given blockchain development a green light. So it will really keep us, our financial markets and the capital markets, much more competitive and encourage Nigerians to take advantage of it.
All right, all eyes on that. US CPI data coming out later on today. We'll see if it's going to be bullish or bearish for the crypto market. Thank you so much, Olumide Adesina, financial market analyst. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's see the top gainers this morning. We see Carver there, top of the counter, double-digit gains. We're seeing 15.41%, even though most of these altcoins have bled out with all that volatility we saw with Bitcoin. Lucy, 14.21%. And we see BSV, one of the traditional ones there, 13.86%. The recent new kid on the block, Sweet there, $1.18, up 5.98%. And Pepe, the meme coin, bringing all that attention to the meme coins at this point. Meme, Pepe that's given a lot of gains. 5.76% right now, over 2,000% to 1,000% in about 7 days. Incredible profit, but we know how risky these meme coins are. So, Ini, I know, yeah, you like some meme coins, but Pepe is a new kid on the block, and it has
yeah, well, it kind of reminds me of a friend I have whose name sounds like Pepe, so
yeah,
I call her Pepe. So,
yeah.
I guess I'll like it. But anyways, thank you so much, Ladi, for the market. We'll see you at 1:30.
All right.
So that's it on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of this midweek edition of Business Morning. I hope it was worth your time. I'll see you at 10 p.m. for the Stock Market Report, and then we'll do this again tomorrow, God's grace. I'm Ini John Mekwa. Have a great day.